I only bet on American Legion baseball when I do my betting. And
oh, boy, you opened up a can of worms right there.
Wow. Put a little pressure on us.
Yeah, good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning.
Mike Macchione and Barry Vandreason. Barry you're the coach, Legion coach at Sherrill, right?
Sherrill Post 230, yes.
All right. And, of course, Mike, you're legendary.
No, I'm not.
But not that you aren't, Barry, but you know what I'm talking about.
Coach Adrian Post, yep.
Yeah. So tell me, we have a big tournament coming up again. This one is big, though, this year, because there's a first coming up.
This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
This is all his fault, and it was his idea. And
okay.
I think he's best to describe what we got going on.
What's happening?
This is a conglomeration of coaches and some other Legion people that pulled together a committee for the very first time for the 5th District. So I'll let Barry touch on the
biggest
the
thing.
details.
Mike was looking to form the committee, said, we got to get Legion baseball, bring it back.
Yeah,
Travel baseball hurts it, and so we tried to get it all back going. So we came up with, I run a similar basketball tournament at Utica College for 12 teams. Mm-hmm. So we just used that same idea and brought it in. We got a 10 a.m. game. We start at
this is going to be held when?
July 7th, Boilermaker weekend, which
coming
is a great
up.
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We got former players coming back to run the Boilermakers, so we want hopefully they'll come over and enjoy the day. We got a 10 a.m. game, Utica Whitestown, 1 o'clock game, Helmuth Ingalls and Sherrill Post, 4 o'clock game, Clonan and Adrian, and a 7:30 nightcap, Riscony and New Hartford. But every game we're going to honor a Legion member from each post.
This is American Legion National Baseball Appreciation Day. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Very nice. That means a lot to you, Mike.
Well, yeah, as a veteran, it certainly is important. And I think one of the things that we're very keen on is also, along with the baseball part of it, obviously, is when you're wearing that uniform. Regardless of which Legion post you're wearing, you're representing someone and a group of people that are pretty special. And this is something that's been going on since 1925, so it's not brand spanking new. But we hope that what we're going to end up doing is motivating other young players, little leaguers, to kind of follow the path of coming up.
And what has happened? I mean, I think maybe 15 years ago you didn't really feel that the American Legion baseball was in trouble. I'm not trying to say it's in trouble, but there are teams that I've seen that just dropped off. And travel ball has certainly played a role in that. You said it.
Yes.
It has played a role, which I don't get, because why do you want to have to travel to New Jersey to play every weekend when you can play right in your own backyard? And you have a chance to go on into the tournament as well, which, this is this American Legion tournament. This is a big deal.
Yeah, and I certainly have a pretty broad perspective. This will be my 47th year, so I've seen what I would call the glory days, and these aren't necessarily the glory days right now.
Yeah.
And I think what happened, it's like a lot of things. You take things for granted and you just assume that everything will remain the same, but things change, and we see that in every aspect.
Babe Ruth is not they're having the same issues.
It's barely surviving. Right. But we're the little leagues are smaller. The changes are created by a lot of social things. And no doubt about it, the technology has had an impact. But the other sports have been promoted much better, and not just the AAU baseball, but certainly you got lacrosse, you got soccer, a lot of other options.
There's no doubt.
It's a lot of other options. So what we know, and again, just because of my perspective being broad, we could see that, things are changing, not for the good. But, we're kind of holding our own. Now's the time. Things like what Barry's created here, at least at the local level. Yep. And I expect, to be honest with you, that this will start migrating into the other districts. This is just a 5th District effort. But I know in the States, the number of Legion teams from when I started to where we are right now
it's different.
Is really different.
Yeah.
And I even know, as a child growing up playing baseball, you talk about technology, and certainly that's had an impact. But I played East Utica Little League Baseball, and I've seen over the last couple of years, I think they're down to like 4 teams. When I was a kid, I want to say there was at least 8, possibly 12. But when you go to Proctor Park there, it's and this is not intended to be a negative, but there's a lot of refugees, and soccer's their sport. You see the soccer field loaded up versus instead of the baseball field. And there's a lot of great volunteers and great kids that play. It's not a negative, but there's kind of a shift going on here.
Yeah, and to that point, I live on that side of the city too, and just taking a walk and having watched approximately 1,000 people watch a soccer game. And it was a pickup. It wasn't, it wasn't a special. Yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But
really?
I also remember our playoff games for Oneida County where we would have 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Yeah,
and 5-6 deep from right field to left field. And now it's a struggle if you can say that you draw 100 people a game.
Yeah,
we played Smith this past weekend, and and Tony Abone, one of the young Tony Abone, one of the longtime coaches. He's got 30-some-odd years. We just kind of looked in the stands and said, it's nothing like what it used to be. Yeah. And hopefully this is, a driver.
One more on. You mentioned the immigrants, people that are, which now we have a professional soccer team. I think that's going to be really big here.
Sure.
But look at baseball. It surprises me that they don't have this interest in baseball because have you seen the major league lineups? There are interpreters going out onto the mound during a mound talk. I mean, they're pretty diverse. Baseball is pretty diverse today.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Barry would back me up on this too. Baseball is one of those sports where, well, I guess all sports, you're always looking for those big, tall, strong guys.
Yeah.
And when, on the east side, that demographic has changed, and I'm always walking around, kind of like drooling at the Bosnian bodies that are walking around that are 6'3", 6'4", long, lean. And
how do you break into that group?
Yeah, it's really hard to pull them into the mainstream, if you will, of Little League baseball.
Right. Okay, Barry, but this is enough talk about where we were and where we are now. This is really part of the part of a solution to say, let's bring some of that travel ball excitement into American Leagues with the tournament.
Right. We're also going to have, it's going to be an old-fashioned kind of a day, dollar day, dollar program, dollar admission, dollar hot dog, dollar water, dollar soda, to bring that back. Hopefully we can fill the stands. We want to be able to bring coaches in and do recruiting right there as they do it at a travel tournament.
Okay,
so we're trying to give everything at one venue and give the kids a feel of a big event.
All right, this will be Boilermaker Weekend. Which you're already going to have a crowd in town. So
and there will be a prelude to this too. We'll be marching. The whole league will be marching into the 4th of July parade.
Okay, nice.
So we should have hopefully about 300, and we'll be kind of mingling with the crowd as we go down. And then the other add-on to this, which is, I know I'm going to get strange looks here. We also have, concurrently while these games are going on, we have a cornhole tournament going on. So we're going to take advantage of everything that we can. And this is really a fundraiser to try to offset expenses because it's pretty expensive for each team. We're probably looking at $1,600 to $1,800. So hopefully we can raise enough money that we can keep.
All right. Are you on Facebook? What are the website? How do people get details on all this?
We'll start publishing everything on the legionbaseball.com, but we'll also be on the New York State Facebook and every other modern technology that we can right now.
We are very fortunate, too. We got the National Guard to be one of our sponsors. They're going to bring in some of their vehicles and their manpower, too, to bring it that feel as well.
We are getting support. We are getting quite a bit of support.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of baseball, huge fan of American Legion baseball, and this is the 7th Boilermaker Weekend, and cornhole is,
Yeah,
we just had it at Frog Fest. It worked out
big.
well.
It was big.
Yeah.
So we're bringing it into our tournament as well.
Pretty smart. All right, Barry Vandreason and Mike Macchione, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
All right, guys.